We may also talk about participating. One of the things that you want to do on your job search is not always come with your handout, but you want to come with something that you're going to give. You want to come with something that you're going to give, whatever that might be. So, for example, if you're talking to a hiring manager and there's no job there that you know about, what you want to be able to do is demonstrate how you can benefit him or her. So that's when you, again, develop a speech that says, oh, well, I've got these skills. For example, like Paul talked about his project management skills. If you know that the company is going through a change, let's say they're putting in a new ERP system, and you've got an opportunity to go in and manage some part of that. Maybe it's even a module that they're going to put in, like the finance module, or there's a human resources module that's going in. And you can manage part of that, then that's what you tell the company. You know, I'm interested in talking with you because I understand that you're putting in a new ERP system, and I've project managed finance module, HR module, and it could be PeopleSoft, Oracle, whatever it might be. And I believe those skills might really benefit you. Tell me how that's been going for you. And get them to start talking to you about what it is that's going on in their company. Because most people really appreciate an opportunity to do two things. One is get help from others, and the other is talk about themselves. People really want to be able to talk about themselves and get help from others. So by opening up the conversation for that person to do that, I think that's a great way to start making friends and see if you can get a meeting. Another thing that I recommend that people do is be generous with time and be generous with money a little bit. And by money, I mean offer to take someone to lunch. If you make a contact with a hiring manager or anybody that you think can help you move your job search forward, offer to take them to lunch. It doesn't have to be an expensive lunch. You could go to like a Panera Bread, for example, sit down and have a sandwich together. It doesn't have to be an expensive lunch. Or it could be coffee in the morning or something like that. Wherever you are comfortable in an environment that you think you can get in front of somebody's face. The problem with a job search is that you are one of just so many. There's so many people now who are looking for jobs, and even in good times, when you see the job posted on Monster, 300 other people have seen the job posted on Monster. We recently did, in fact we're almost done with it, a search for SEIU in Detroit. They're opening up a shared services center, and our consultants went in and designed it, and then we came behind them and filled in the boxes. So we ran all of the positions on Monster, and just for the 5 that I was managing, we had over 1,000 responses. Now, mind you, Detroit's maybe the worst job market in the country, but still, that's a lot. So you don't want to, that's something that you should do, but the most important thing is to get together with somebody and figure out ways that you can do that. So always come with your offering if you're asking for something. Bring something along with you that you can give. So that's what you do with ASTD. Continuing education. This is the kind of time in an economy when some people think about changing careers a little bit.
Let me go back to the point you just made about
participation.
Not just taking, but giving.
Giving, right.
If you've got 20 years plus in an industry, chances are you know something about it.
Yes.
And chances are you know something about it, or could find out something about it that the person you're talking to doesn't know.
Right.
And it's so easy to research things these days.
Very easy. Yeah.
So if you can, impart some knowledge, they'll be your new best friend.
And another thing to do, for example, is if you just research a company and understand what their pain points are. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's really what our business development managers do, and I think most would do in a sales environment, because you want to demonstrate two things. You understand what they need, and you understand their business. And so if you go in and you come to them and say, I understand you're putting in this new ERP system, how's it going? You're likely to find out it's not going very well. One of the projects that we do again and again for companies is after the new ERP system has gone in, we come back with change management people who help them use the system. That's a very common project for us to do. So you're likely to hear these things again and again, and you have made a very good point about being able to demonstrate that you have knowledge that can be useful, and they should frankly buy from you. They should hire you. Continuing education, going back to this for a moment, if it's a time in your career when you thought about doing something else, continuing education is obviously very important. You want to take what it is that you do that's terrific, top 3, 4, or 5 things, and then decide how that might map to something that you like to do. So for example, Paul, you talked about your project management skills. Project management skills are transferable to a number of different environments. I mean, you can take that into banking, you can take it into retail, you can take it into, you know, manufacturing, any number of areas. And who said they had been to PMI? Who was that? Rich has. So if you, are you PMI certified?
No, I'm not.
Have you thought about getting that designation or certification?
I've taken a class and I'm doing some reading.
Good. I would recommend that you do that, and I recommend it for everybody if you can take the time and the money that it costs to get PMI certified. Where did you do that here, by the way? What's your understanding or knowledge of PMI here? Is there a place where people go for the classes? Do they do them?
Well, they're available a couple of ways. One is through the local chapter. The other is through a couple of the colleges in the area.
Like Central Piedmont or UNCC?
Or UNCC.
Okay. And I think that's a very good thing to do, because particularly if you're changing careers, you want to demonstrate that you've got great skill about why you're coming forward as a project manager. So that designation, that professional certification or designation is really important to have. But even if you don't have it, you've got project management skills if you run a project from beginning to end. And if you know how to do that on a spreadsheet, then you've got good basic project management skills. So think about how the continuing education can help take your current skill set and map it to something that's brand new. Alumni groups, how many people have tapped into their college or university alumni groups? So when you, where did you go to school? I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Bruce.
Bruce, where did you go to school?
State University of New York at Binghamton.
At Binghamton. So was that useful for you when you tapped into the alumni group?
Not so much, because most of it, if I was going to get a job in New York, it'd be great.
Right.
But here,
Well, there is, how many of you have come through a transitions program like Wright or Lee Hecht Harrison or those? None. So at Carolina, for example, we have a career person who comes from that field, who worked at Wright as I did, and some colleges and universities will have that available to you for free. They do at Carolina. So you might want to check into that, because it's a great way to get some advice on how to manage your career search and see what kinds of resources they may have that would be available. Did anybody go to school locally, and was it helpful, tapping into the alumni group?
I tried UNC Charlotte. I didn't go there, but they said you have to be alumni to their database. Okay, so I could have gotten somebody who was alumni to do it, but I didn't pursue it.
NC State wanted me to join the Alumni Association.
Well,
the full benefit.
At Carolina, you don't have to join the Alumni Association, but you would find out about it through the Alumni Association. So maybe they actually said you had to join. How much is a year's membership?
I don't recall. I could be wrong, but that's what, when I went to the website, it looked like they had some stuff, but I guess to prove that you were an alumnus.
Right. Usually a year membership for an alumni association is not too much money. It might be like $30 or $40 or $50 or something like that for a year.
Or in some cases it's free.
And in some cases it could be free. So if those things are available to you, I encourage you for 2 reasons. One is it's another pool of people to start talking to. Second reason is they may have resources like a career officer that you can tap into. And you know, if you went to state, you must have a huge alumni pool here in Charlotte. Have you tapped into that?
Not locally. No.
Well, consider doing that, because it's a great way to meet people and to get out and say hello and kind of, you know, lift your mood a little bit if you're feeling a little bit down about the job search and all of that. I think alumni groups are an excellent resource. And remember, when you come in, it's all about what you can do for them and not what they can do for you.